We'd like to thank our sponsor, iZotope, the absolute leaders in design plugins for audio restoration, mixing, and mastering. At iZotope.com, you'll find a plethora of tools and suites that will enhance your audio production, whether it's voice, video, podcast, or a full production recording session. Check out the industry standard audio repair tool RX11, the multi-tool mixer plugin Neutron 5, or the powerful Ozone 11 mastering suite, plus tons more. Go to iZotope.com, use code FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. That's iZotope.com, and the code is FRET10, FRET10.
DistroKid now also has a motherfucking app.
The DistroKid app is available for iOS and Android.
You can now get an additional 30% off if you go to distrokid.com/VIP/cult. That's distrokid.com/VIP/cult.
Or you can get it in the App Store.
Fuck. All right, we're rolling.
Rolling.
Planet B
Present.
Cult and Culture Podcast.
Episode 58 of the Cult and Culture Podcast. Fuck yeah. I'm Justin Pearson.
And I'm Jerry Maguire. You'll get it.
You will. Okay, so this one's loaded. Okay, first of all, it's part 4 of our Oak Cliff Film Festival series. Everything is Terrible, which is, I guess, an art collective. I don't even know how to explain it, which is great because I like the fact that I have no fucking idea what it is. This is their Animals Are Over sort of like sub thing. Oh man, I don't even know how to phrase it. Okay, so Dimitri and Nick from Everything is Terrible were at Oak Cliff Film Festival showcasing their new film, which
this experimental. It is fucking out there.
it is out there.
Like America's Funniest Videos on Acid,
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
but worse, like a bad trip.
You gonna watch television?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Well, it's crazy because when I first met them at the festival, they were saying how like it's I don't know what the right words they said, but it was like overwhelming, and I was like, well, I don't understand what you're talking about. And so when the film started, it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of that kind of art, and I think it's cool in what it is. But I was like, man, this has got to be hard for people. Also, like I think people, maybe the general population, maybe, I don't know, fuck humans, whatever. So like I think that maybe they're like one dimensional, and so for me, I'm watching their stuff, their art, and I'm like feeling all of the different feelings. Like I'm like, that's hilarious. This is depressing. I feel fucked. What are we doing on this planet? Like all the existential bullshit that I think, if some of your cylinders are firing, you're gonna probably wonder about.
Deep.
Yes. So I learned quite a lot. For one, the first Def Club show they hosted, which I was like, oh shit, that's wild. And then it kind of made everything even more special. And then they started talking about the Doggy Woggy Poochie Woochie remake of Holy Mountain, which I was like, that is insane. If you have not seen that, I highly recommend watching it. It's bizarre in itself. But they're just rad people, and I think that I can appreciate the little pieces of things and the little like minutia of what they do and what they are embodying so much in the world of art. Because it is sort of like Dadaist, and just there is like a subversiveness to it, and it's not just like fart jokes or whatever. There's something happening, and I think it's cool. Also, too, shout out to Wolf Eyes, the homies, because they I didn't even realize that they were associated with them with some of their films and stuff, and so that was cool to see them in the credits, to know that they worked on some of the music, because that band is awesome and those dudes are rad. So anyhow, we're gonna dive into this. I don't know if you're not aware of Everything Is Terrible. I really feel like you should go on a deep dive.
And if you get a chance to see it live, highly recommended.
Yes, totally. That's something that is like so important. I don't want to give away their performance, but like what they put into it was pretty incredible. So we hope you enjoy this. We're gonna see you on the other side, and then we'll talk about some other shit.
I'm Nick, Commodore Gilgamesh from Everything Is Terrible, and also Memory Hole.
I am Dimitri, aka Ghoul School from Everything Is Terrible and Memory Hole.
Can you explain to me this universe of what?
No.
It's not gonna happen. Huh?
No, I mean, we're like almost 20 years in and we're still struggling.
Yeah, but at least the foundation of it was through the love of found footage, of just like, that's where, like, we've done all this other stuff together, art, puppetry, sketch, whatever, just like stuff you do in college. But it was sort of like, okay, we need to like put this in a cohesive, like, we knew from collecting tapes, I think that, like, among other things, collecting tapes was one of them, right? That was like,
yeah. And I think just like a lack of patience for like making like video, that we just were like, let's just use other people's videos and edit them to make them.
yeah, we didn't have camera equipment, we had barely anything, so it was like, well, we like to edit, we have this, we have tapes from thrift stores, we have like Final Cut 4 or whatever it was at the time. Let's just start there and kind of like figure it out from there until we get cameras, whatever. But like right now we're poor, that's cool, whatever. Let's just make whatever we can find.
Yeah, it was just the resource that was at our fingertips. So
Yeah. And then it just kept
Theme of
going.
all of this whole thing, this whole festival that's been the theme.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what making like good art, in my opinion, is like use what you got around.
Exactly. So it started from that, of sort of diving into other people's worlds, I think is what it was. Because we loved sitting around and watching that stuff, watching compilations, TV Carnage, Negative Land, EBN, Craig Baldwin, all that stuff that we were like, we were lucky. We went to a not great state school, but it had experimental film in its library. We had like a couple of really cool professors that were just like showing us that stuff. So we were just like, okay, there's something here. We love this. VHS was sort of like what we were raised on, but it's dying. That's awesome. Let's collect all this stuff while it's like 25. They're giving, they couldn't give this stuff away. So we were like, let's just start collecting the like, anti-drug tapes and whatever, just like sitting around at parties, putting them in for friends and just kind of getting stone drunk, whatever, watching it until it was like, well, okay, there's this YouTube thing. We should probably be a part of it.
Which, I mean, I think is like the real like amazing like coalescing of the whole thing, was that like Blogger YouTube was like taking off right when we were like figuring this project out. And as we were editing, we were just sharing, like he and I moved away from each other. So we were just using the internet to basically share goofy edits to like build the project. And people started liking it. And we were like, oh shit.
Yeah. Because before that, it was just like E-Bombs World, Daily Motion. I don't know if it existed. But, it was like the underground sort of, there was a market for internet video, but there wasn't a world where it made any sense yet. It was just like, okay, you got to go to this site and it's rotten.com/whatever. And so from there, it was like, oh, we felt kind of behind, I think, in that way. At least that's the way I look at it back on it, is that it was like, oh, there's all these people making short films and features and all this stuff with like, Canon XL2s or GL1s or whatever. We're so behind. So it was our way of being able to just edit something, like he was saying. And so, and it was finally like easy to do. And back then YouTube kind of ruled, and it was just like this wasteland, Wild West thing of just like, let's share it. And so, we were just like, let's start there with real no plan beyond that. That eventually, and then really because Blogger and YouTube and all that stuff was new, so were journalists hungry to just talk about like anything on the internet that wasn't.
They were desperate.
Because there wasn't like,
it was so sad.
it's so weird to think that no one was making money off YouTube. There were no YouTube millionaires then. So it was just like, oh, there's people doing stuff. Oh, remember the 80s? Sure, let's put that up on Video Gum or...
But like write an article about a video on the internet. Like think about how silly that is. They would write articles about our like 2-minute edit VHS tape.
Which was very encouraging, which was like that Yeah, we just like needed that encouragement. We probably would have done it anyway, but it was nice that it was like, okay, someone notices. That's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
There's immediately some sort of like call and response that we can do.
But it built an audience.
Yeah.
like, immediately. And then we got invited to like movie theaters, festivals to show the movie that we eventually made out of it. And it just kind of turned it into a band, which was a funny, weird twist on it where we were like, let's just start booking shows and tour with this shit, with a movie. And
When you say band, like the infrastructure is like a band, or were you playing instruments?
no, we just did it like a band, like in that we would book shows, get in a van, drive around, sell merch, and put on like a punk show, but like
Yeah. And it wasn't just us. Like there was a group of us post-college that were all sort of like, well, we like to edit. We like comedy. We like kind of whatever, like sound collage, video collage, but it's all nothing's quite.
another was right for us.
Yeah, like we were going to do a sketch comedy thing or something like that. You know what I mean? We were like, what do we do to bring in these elements of stuff we like? Like we had just started doing like very little puppetry. We were like, maybe we'll do like music videos for people. I would like hit up bands and they'd be like, sure. And then I'd never finish because it's like, well, I don't have the money or time to do this, but it was just something to get it going. And so it was like, well, let's just combine everything that we like, where it's like, let's just make it kind of like moody. Oh, we love like, kind of like back then too. It was like, oh, let's just do kind of like culty shit of just like put on these big dumb costumes with like huge long arms. We'll come out with a fog machine. I mean, God bless fog machines in general. It just covers so much of the themes. It just changes the vibe. Hazer's fog machine, shout out. So we were like, let's just go out and be a part of the exhibition. Like we knew we wanted to make a movie of just a compilation of the first like year or two of Everything Is Terrible. Being like, well, let's just, if we make nothing else, let's just make like a mixtape kind of thing.
Sure.
Again, there's so many out there already, but we were just like, let's just do one and be a part of that. Just like punk or something. Just like trying to be like cool. Like we're cool. We have a DVD. We got this.
We're just trying to be cool.
We're just trying to be cool.
We just want someone to think we're cool.
But we knew we weren't going to go on the road without doing some sort of big spectacle.
Yeah, we never were gonna talk. Like, no offense to all Q&As happening right now. We just are not those people.
No, and there's nothing wrong with it. We're just not. That's not us. We're just too like. I couldn't imagine getting up there and just being us, talking about. There's nothing to talk about. We'd rather the less context, the better. I think, especially with this stuff.
Bizarre, jarring shit with no
Yeah.
obvious point.
But then you have a universe, and then people want to keep coming back to a universe as opposed to like some jagoff talking about their ideas. I don't know.
But I mean, when I met you all, it was Def Club's first show, and you guys hosted a whole show, so you were in between. But you had like skits, and like you did talk and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's always been like the element of that, of just like, how can we make it? Well, each movie / tour / whatever is like, okay, that'll be the next world that we want to explore. That became pretty clear. Like after the first movie, that was more generic. Like I said, just like people would be like, oh, it's like Jim Henson on acid and a cult. And we're like, sure, kind of is.
That's
so
pretty good.
Yeah. We weren't offended in any way. It was very...
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we were like, okay, we did that for the first couple of movies, Tokyo Drift, right? We still did it for, no, Tokyo Drift was the first tour. We never really fully toured with the first one, just here and there, Alamo and stuff like that, and LA and stuff. But then it was pretty early on. Then we were like, we should go in deeper into themes. Like, what can we do? We have thousands and thousands of tapes. We're going to keep making, there's not really a cohesive way we've been describing them, but the movies are sort of like puzzles made out of other puzzles. So it's like you take a puzzle, split it apart, take a few pieces, then try to fit it with another puzzle that doesn't fit. So you kind of like jam it together until at the end of it, it's this cohesive mosaic pile of broken puzzle pieces that like sort of resembles a thing, sort of. But then we knew it was more fun to be like, let's do like for our third
Doggy Woggies. Yeah. So that was an all-dog remake of the Holy Mountain.
Doggy Woggies, Poochie Woochies.
But also, like, that one was very, like, thematic, right?
That was really when we were like, let's stick with, because E.I.T. the movie and Too Everything Too Terrible 2 Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
We're both more just like, all right, here's like our theses, here's like our ideas, here's how we see the world, kind of spitting it back, sure. But it wasn't until Doggy Woggies, Poochie Woochies that we were like, let's make it really, really hard. Like, let's really make us a challenge where specifically him and I kind of like split off a little bit and went, let's put our heads down, get every dog tape imaginable, every single dog related film, instructional tape, and remake the Holy Mountain, which is still very funny on Letterboxd. When you go to Jodorowsky's page, it'll say like writer of films, and it'll be like, yeah, writer of, you know, the Holy Mountain, El Topo, Doggy Woggies, Poochie Woochies, because it's like technically a remake of his movie. So I just find that so funny that he must go to his site if him or his family ever looks at IMDb or whatever. But that was like, can we, as best we can, right? Sort of.
Yeah. And I mean,
Mimic
it was pretty self-destructive too, because we were kind of like, we're trying to kind of alienate our audience and trying to just see like, can we do this? Like, and it killed us. We always say it, like, destroyed movies. It destroyed everything. Is terrible, everything for us, but kind of in a liberating way. But like,
Wait, why do you say that?
I mean, it's just such a
We just watched too many dog movies. It was just
Like killed you, like
it broke our mind a little bit.
Oh, I thought you meant like it ruined like the entity, what you were.
No,
it just changed it.
It just changed it, yeah, because it was sort of we learned a lot where it was like, okay, if we're gonna go on the road, we played it all the way through. We didn't have any breaks, and it was when we've talked about this before, that when the co-creator John Lee, the co-creator of Wonder Shows and Xavier Renegade Angel, was at our show at the Bell House in New York, and he walked out halfway through, and we were like, "What?" No, he was just like taking a break, and we went, "Oh, what's up?" And he was like, "Just too many dogs. It's just too many. It's too many." And when a guy like that is saying that, we were like, you know what? There are other signs. We need to just like break it up. So like, whatever. We kind of realized a lot from that tour, from that thing where it's like, do a big stage show, do as dumb and big as we can. Dumb in a good way, we think, but it's just like, do also make sure to remember to like, everyone needs to breathe every so often, because our movies aren't that long. They're like under an hour usually, but they feel like 90 minutes because there's just so much assault.
Yeah, it felt like a test of our like crowd, and they all passed. And then we're like, okay, now we're free to do whatever we want. And we've actually, I think, been a lot kinder until Memory Hole to the audience.
Yes.
We've been much more thoughtful of the audience since then. And
I think you're right. We learned to not be so punishing, but also they were there for us. Like, we really were like, they're not going to ever come back. Like, we pushed them a little too far. But like, even like, we just found out not long ago, like, Tim Robinson was at that show in Chicago. He was just like, yeah, what are you talking about? It was great. It's like, okay, it feels more punishing, I think, when we're in it and then spitting it back. If you're seeing it for the first time, I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
But it is just like.
But humans are obviously vastly different. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like my experience would be completely different than from like, I don't know, a regular person.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this? And I'm
No,
like,
but
I don't know what this is, but I love it as it is. You know, like
But no, fans have been so nice. Exactly. That was our test for them. I think that was really our, like, we didn't mean for it to be, but
And also a testament to what you just said, a ton of our fans talk about how they're like, oh yeah, I'm just not friends with that person because they don't like you guys. And it's like, it is like a line where it's like, I don't want to be like no normies, but it's like freak shit. It's like, really,
yeah.
and it's
Right.
kind of-
And it's really all hard. Like, everything we've been explaining takes like 15 minutes just to say what it even is. Yeah. So on the road, it was very funny to be like, well, have you ever seen this 1973 cult classic called The Holy Mountain? No? Well, what about dogs? You know, so it's just like it's too much.
If they don't know about Holy Mountain, you're already fucked.
right.
Or
right.
you just are like, go in and don't ask any questions and just see what you think. There were people who would be like, oh, I get it exactly what you were doing. And there are other people who are like, I have no idea who that is. I don't really care. I just like looking at.
For me, any of
You
it,
know.
even like just being like simply like, it's like a psychedelic found footage documentary. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, and then like, but wait, why do you have all these costumes? Well, it's because we dress up like dogs beforehand and we intro and outro. Like,
Yeah.
what are these questions? Like,
Yeah, like
obvious.
touring it before podcasts were really a thing was always also a challenge, because like there weren't, like Nick, you know, did all the work of trying to of cold calling venues, of just being like, we do this thing, it's called Everything's Terrible, maybe you've heard of us. And again, that's where like it sort of helped to just have any momentum. So maybe somebody who was like a fan of some other blog might have heard of it, or just was like on YouTube at the time when you could get on the front of YouTube at that time.
Well, we got all that press.
And just press. And so I think that legitimized us in that way to be like, okay, can we call this venue in Chicago? Can we call this player? Can we like cold email them?
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah,
a
you have
stretch.
big agents and shit.
No,
Not really.
for a minute,
We
but
did
it's
for a
like
minute.
we still book ourselves again now.
Right? It has like
good PR, good looking. We're just faking it.
Good
all.
PR. Shout out to Aloy. Great PR. We've had great people over the years. It's just been so many people have come and gone. Like that's the thing. It's been when you make it a collective, then that means so many different things. That's like the found footage side of it, but there's always been more and more that we've kind of been like expanding to do where it's like, well, that's still the spirit of Everything is Terrible, right? And like installations, just like other live stuff, video installation, permanent installation. Like there's been so much that we've done over the years that come from that world.
I mean, collecting 45,000 Jerry Maguire VHS tapes.
Right.
It's like,
It's right.
and that is all to say, it's like, that's part of it, And that's what's cool about, and I think it helped us with booking too, where it was like, music venues were stoked to have something different in the space.
But then you had to
Movie theaters were stoked to have
you had to
something
get a
different.
place to screen it. And, I mean, right? Like none of them.
Yeah, and venues didn't always have projectors, and this was like 2000. Yeah, they still don't sometimes have projectors.
And that's when we just travel with a projector and a bed sheet, and we just do it, So
you just never know. But it's that sort of just like, well, let's just see. No one's asking for any of this, but it's just sort of like if we put it out there, maybe they'll want to go to it. But it wasn't the kind of thing that was like, oh, there's a pipeline for it. It was just making it all up as the movies, the shows, the tours, the promotion for it. All of it was just like, maybe it's weird enough that, again, somebody wants to write about and talk about, because how do you reach people anymore is another thing. But it's like, at least at that point, there were still like local papers, weeklies, that kind of thing. There was still like AV Club. They were always really nice to us. Stuff like that would just be like, oh, this weird, stupid thing is going on the road. Maybe you'd want to go. And again, we always ask people to this day, how did you hear about this show? Especially when they're like, I didn't know who you were and this is my first time seeing anything. We're like, that's so awesome. What? How? How did this happen?
When I saw you at the show that Depka played, I was like, wait, what the fuck? It's like the shit I see on YouTube, and like they're here doing the thing, and it was like such a thing. But also like the way you guys phrase it is like, it's like punk band adjacent, like you said. So it like kind of works in this realm.
We've just always been envious of that, I think.
What? You're
right?
part of it though. Like,
yeah, we just
I mean in the beginning.
we
right.
wanted to be in a band, but weren't. So like we were just like,
what you did is kind of cooler than playing music, I think. But I don't want to fuck up this vibe here, but like, what can we talk about that Jerry Maguire thing? Because I was like, what the fuck?
It doesn't fuck with it at all. It goes in line. I think it's sort of, it was during the time of when we were getting started. We were just noticing like, you're going to the same thrift stores over and over and over again, or whatever. Just like finding new ones in LA and garage sales, or whatever. But it was, at least for me, it was mostly thrift stores, right?
yeah.
Or, Amoeba, those kind of places, Record Surplus in LA, I think, which is still around. I got to go back there. There were so many good tapes in those early days that were from there. You'd always see Jerry Maguire over and over and over again. You'd see other tapes, but there was something about the big red, red side back, the spine that you were just like, oh, that's funny. So we started putting them together and taking photos of them.
Like in the store.
Just like in the store and just being like, haha, that's funny. Oh, we should, and back then we were like trying to figure out a way. I've never been great at engaging with the audience, but I was like, oh, if you're ever at a thrift store, take photos. We'll call it like Maguire Watch or something. I don't even remember. And like I don't think anyone ever submitted a photo.
No one ever took a photo.
But then
Buying them for us, they were excited about.
Well, that we found out later that they were very excited to purchase them, but it wasn't until our very first show that we bought it was our very first show in LA ever. Like, but it happened to be in LA, and we were nearby that Amoeba, and we were like, what if we went today and like you guys drove over and we got like 100, right?
Yeah,
Wait, they had 100 at Amoeba?
Because we knew they had.
in with like 50.
Is that true?
We got like 50 from Amoeba.
Yeah, that sounds
They
right.
had 50 on.
I mean, that was the thing.
that
You would
was-
see a huge number.
Why would that store?
Why would they even care?
Whereas people were buying them.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm assuming somebody had to.
The VHS setup at that old location was amazing. It was like,
yeah.
it would shake because it was on the second floor. So I'd always think there was an earthquake. It was terrifying. And I think we went just being like, yes, there was like a small pile or like a 50, whatever that we had, but we shot.
A lot.
50's a lot.
Save them for us too, but that was later because
That was later.
it wasn't done. Yeah.
Wait, so there was like 50 on the shelf?
I think they went back and like, right.
I think we asked them and they went back
And they like, because they
had
had
them in the
so
back.
much
Yeah.
influx
I
of
mean,
just
that
like,
just shows you how many of this dumb tape were just.
it was just that day.
Yeah. So, yeah, we did this. We actually tried to give it to an audience member at that show, and then we're like, "Sorry, you can't have them. We love them." we want the tapes. And she was mad.
Yeah, she was kind of mad at us. Yeah, that's right. And that was the first time we'd seen like 100 together, and we were like, this is pretty funny. This is pretty stupid. This is pretty beautiful.
Yeah. A
Let's.
lot of the thing is great.
Yeah.
A lot of a thing is great.
Yeah.
And then I think, to be perfectly honest, it worked backwards from there, where we were like, well, we can't stop. So why would we have this many? Okay, well, it's about capitalism and decay and culture dying and all waste and all these things. That is all true.
Don't forget about mediocrity.
Our civilization.
But it wasn't even about the movie itself as much. Like, it's sure, but it has nothing really to do with it. Like, it could have been any other movie, of course.
Right.
It just had to be that one. And then once that started to build on tour, we'd ask for them. I don't even know how the word. Oh, I think there was like I think a few good press pieces, because we just like, there's nothing funnier to anyone doing press than just like a novelty. And so that was on top of it, was like, wait, there's this found footage art collective that collects Jerry Maguire's. Well, that's an interesting NPR piece and all that stuff. So then it all just starts to kind of like build.
Terry Gross interview about that? Or?
It was, what was it?
Was it-
Was that guy?
All things
considered. Guy Raz. Yeah, shout out to Guy Raz.
Yeah, I did like the corny like VCR sound effect. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny. But just those types of things started to build, where then people would bring them to shows, and it
By the hundreds. Like crazy shit.
started by the dozens, and very quickly
You
became.
TV show with like, we don't have enough room now.
Oh yeah, it ruined our band. Like in us, we strapped them to the top. So finally, we figured out to have venues like, and our writer, we'd be like, you have to mail these back for us. Like we'll print a label, and you just have to drop them at the post.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Changed our life.
And it's ruined our lives for sure. It's
Yeah.
Nick. I mean, again, he gets them from the post office every 2 weeks, once a
I
month.
have tennis elbow from Carrying Jerry.
You're still getting it.
We
It's
still-
still coming.
We were 100 a month on average. On average,
You 100.
I think we started collecting probably, I'm going to say in 2010, but
Yeah.
really probably like 2011.
Kind of. Such a problem.
People will come up to, like, we did a 2022 tour. So it was like still Delta was like right. Remember, it was like COVID was still kind of right. We thought the whole thing would have to get canceled. There was a whole thing. But on that tour, there were people who'd come up to us and be like, I just want you to know that like during COVID, I couldn't do anything all day. And when things like started opening up a little bit, but things weren't open, I would just go, fully, I would go to just thrift store to thrift store to thrift store all day to collect Jerry's. It was like, what the?
Yeah, people lost their mind.
People lost their minds. And still, I don't know what, people still send letters, stuff like that, or just blank, or they'll just send them.
We'll probably get 50 tonight. Like, this is always a big Jerry town.
Yeah, it is.
So,
That's true. Over 45. Well, it's somewhere between 42 and 45,000. We're pretty sure. Easily over.
Keep building it then?
I mean, they're just growing. Yeah.
Where is that picture from?
Wait, the picture. Oh,
The
so
like-
the last time we photographed him, we only had 8,000.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So it's like 8 to 10K at
Where
most.
is that right now? In storage somewhere?
They're in a trailer in Apple Valley outside of LA.
An
And
old
do?
Atlas truck. I don't know. You want them? Does anybody want them? Anybody want to do anything with them?
no. I mean, we said we're going to build a pyramid in the desert for him. That's what we've always said. But we need
Turns out
money.
that's really expensive.
And questionably bad for the environment.
But they're going to go into a landfill. What's the fucking
It's yeah.
I know. This is like the hilarious part about it. People are always like, why would you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you want to bury him in a hole, mother?
Yeah,
And it's
they're
like,
not.
I don't know.
No matter what, they're gonna go to that land.
No matter what, they're going back to the earth somehow. Whether it spits it out or not is not up for us.
We
But
just slowed that process down a little bit.
it's just slowed it down in an Atlas truck somewhere in Apple Valley. Yep.
And funded a lot of thrift stores.
I know.
You should mail up to the church psychology.
Holy. See, you can do like double up and make like a weird prank like that. Like it'd be great to just go and dump a bit.
Look, the thing is too that you got to remember, like when he's saying tennis elbow, 110 tapes is kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Like 50 tapes is really heavy.
Yeah.
So 40,000+ tapes is really, really, really.
It'll ruin your week for sure.
So you'd have to like, it'd be a production.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have been talking about. Go ahead.
Oh, well, we did the Jerry store.
Yeah.
So we did the Jerry Maguire video store in 2016,
2017.
and that was 14,000. And we built a video store, moved them all out, set them on shelves, and opened for a month. And it like blew people's minds.
We had like we had employees there working 8 hours a day in shifts. We made a training tape for them.
Wait,
we had
what do you sell them?
no,
No,
we all
God,
took Jerry's in.
we all took them in.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
And it was a full-on month. So we had all these shows, did all these the back. It was at the old I Am 8-Bit, which is like a they had a huge a place on there on Mohawk and Sunset, right? Sunset,
Yeah.
And so it was the perfect spot because it kind of looked like a video store. So once you put it in the shut, we had membership cards for everybody. We had
And you would go through the porn room, and then we'd have like a secret venue, like a venue. We had like every weekend, like we had like 4 nights of shows. It was great.
It was amazing. We had so many great. We had Yacht. We had LA Takedown do live scores to Home Alone 2. We had
Daedalus.
We had Alan Resnick and everybody. We had like so many shows coming and going, and it just felt like, oh, this is the most we can do with it. But then when you put them back, it does feel crazy to be just sitting on them,
Right.
because it's too many to do anything with right now. So we're just like, we've been talking about it a lot of like, what do we do? Do we like? But anything costs money because it's like, do you put event? Do we make another like storefront? Well, who's gonna be there all day? Who's gonna that's rent? It's like in LA. How do we do all this?
But anything costs money, but like maybe the like stunt creates publicity, which is like
The video store itself had the most attention we've ever had for anything combined. Like it was great. Like
Or ever will. It was like
everybody was just, again, it's a novelty. It's a thing to talk about. So it was like, and at that time, 14,000 didn't even really fit into that little space. Even though it looked like a video store, we had to double back them just to say
it was 2 video stores basically.
yeah.
You'd need like a
14,000,
Walmart.
Now you're at 45.
You'd need like an 8,000 square foot, 10,000. If you put everyone, I mean, I don't know. It's if you put them all spine to spine, face to face, Jerry to Jerry, like Tom to Tom. I don't know how many would be, but it's we've said it's gonna kill us one day. We're gonna. The last thing we'll see is a pile of Jerry's falling on top of us, and it'll be like,
What if he did like a MAGA rally? You know, like Jerry, everybody there. So
But again, think of the truck that would take to carry 10 of them. We don't want to lose them.
Weird, or like an ice raid. And we're like, oh, they're raiding a fucking.
It could be like hot lava on a castle kind of deal. Just like take them,
shitheads. You know,
We should
That's a
throw
good
Jerry's at ICE agents. That's actually a
That actually is kind of the best idea I've heard in a very long time of what to do with it.
They would. It's fucked up thing is they'd be like, well, we know who those people are. Or you are. Like the dude in LA that was like chucking rocks at those ice vehicles right?
fucking
They
hero.
caught him,
I
but
know.
that footage was like beautiful. I was like,
amazing.
I'm so inspired. I want to fucking be that guy. You know, he's in prison now. But if you were throwing Jerry videos at ICE agents, it'd be like, oh, we know exactly who's doing that.
Yeah. Isn't that the shitty thing about that video too? Because the video is so inspiring, and that's also how he got busted.
That's how he
just
got
like,
busted.
God damn.
I bet you it's like one of his fucking shitty family members ratted him out. Or
You think?
I mean, how,
I wonder.
Yeah. He was also like
Wars.
FBI most wanted list. Yeah.
Oh, right. He like made it to that's right, like 2 or 3. Yeah.
And it was just because he had a sick helmet that he got.
Really?
It was like he had that pattern on his helmet. And I knew, huh? God damn it.
Well, now it's on video, so we have recordings of it. Jerry's at ICE Agents. So
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it's crazy because you kind of did touch upon like the sort of social political elements of having like too many Jerry videos and the and like capitalism and commodities and excessiveness and stuff like that. I mean, I love the fact that like you just threw out the like roots of the subject, but like you don't need to like
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's all over the video, the stuff you create. It's kind of like, I don't know, like The King, like Andy Kaufman. Like for me, he's like, that's the fucking pope of pranks,
Yeah.
But and you don't think of him as like a political person but he was like very conscious and aware. And I love the fact that it like doesn't have to be spelled out. As long as you are a good human being, you are doing whatever you're doing for the sake of art, but you're not a shitbag, then it's gonna be brilliant.
Yeah.
And
we hope so.
And it comes out, like you said, it's clear what we're doing, I think. Like, you're getting the message.
Oh yeah, I'm hopefully. If you're there and you're not getting it, I don't know what you're doing at a show. You know what I mean? Like, I think during 2020 we'd have like a bunch of comments of just being like unfollowed. I didn't know you guys were political, and it's like,
oh, yeah, did you love that shit? Yeah.
what did you think it
the
was?
Yeah, that people were.
No, it was just during, it was 2020. It was
2020
George Floyd and uprising and everything, and it was just like, again, you even feel silly doing it as a found footage art collective. You know what I mean? But
You
it's
have to
just,
say something. But it's been like that with anything.
but it's like, it's anything.
Yes, anything. It's just like, yeah, you guys didn't fucking know that's how we felt. Yeah, of course, for Palestine. Of course, fuck ICE. Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, you got like pizza outfits and shit. You're not fucking Kid Rock. You kind of can know the difference.
I would hope so, but sometimes you're like, what's up with your media literacy? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. And that's where So we've never been particularly, especially as I get older, just speaking for myself, I've been trying to be as anti-nostalgic as possible. Like I hate nostalgia.
Yeah.
We always kind of did. Like people would come to our shows and be like, where's, why don't you guys have whatever, like more, Ninja Turtle, whatever it was, just some like pop culture reference. And of course that stuff's all in there. Sure. It's all like part of media. Sure. But it's not about looking at something and being like, I remember that, or like, this is, member berries. Like, it's nothing like that. It's more just about the whole, it's more about it all as a whole, less about
remember berries.
member berries from, the South Park thing of just like, yeah.
I thought you said remember berries. And I was like, is that like a thing that you like when you remember you bought the berry?
No, it's just everybody just wants member berries of like, oh, I remember Chewbacca. I remember, Ghostbusters. And it's all like, we don't want it to be like referential in that way, like, clip to clip, but people remember stuff like certainly people grew up with Christian tapes and they were, and we didn't, but they were like, oh, that tape like was like part of the propaganda I was raised with. That was really like crazy triggering to like see.
Right.
And with you guys are just like, that's stupid shit. This is great.
Right. Or it's a cool costume, a cool puppet.
There's something
mixed with stupid ideology, and then we're like, okay, we are making fun of that, but we're also like really into that puppet. So it's like a little confusing.
It's really confusing, but where nostalgia and like fascism kind of align is not, it's like not that difficult to kind of put that together because it sort of starts with being like, remember the 80s, remember when I didn't have to pay bills.
It was great then.
And men were men and women were women, whatever bullshit. And then it starts to become like, that's what Make America Great Again kind of means, is that it is this like obsession with the past.
Right.
Instead of looking forward to the
That's
future.
a Klan reference anyhow. So like,
Right, which is true, exactly. So it's just, that's where like these tapes and whatever that sort of dips into nostalgia sort of gets difficult because it is hard to look at that stuff. It's hard. It does like fuck with your soul.
Yeah.
When you're looking at like, for our one movie, The Great Satan, that's like all, Satanic Panic. That was like pre-Q. So we were sort of like, is this even relevant at all anymore? Like devil worshipping and portals to hell. Like, come on, that's kind of like outdated.
and now it's back.
And now it's like fully back. So
Yeah.
so watching that stuff kind of broke us too, in that you're just watching like, old preachers just droning on and on about the horrors of Dungeons and Dragons. And of course there's funny stuff within there, but there's so much horrific shit they're saying throughout all of that it just like hurts.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're doing it like funny-ish way, I mean, yeah, there's the underlying message that's bullshit, but you're like poking fun at it. So like,
Sure.
fine.
It's just sifting through it. Sifting for those gold nuggets.
Yeah.
It sort of hurts after a while.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
It is complicated to be like, to make this thing, to be like, okay, there's serious ideas in here. We're goofy, funny people, so we're going to make this goofy, funny shit.
Yeah.
And then to like present it to the world and be like, oh, we made comedy. That's so weird. Because like,
Right.
from like, yeah, like backbone of it is like nostalgia, and we're making anti-nostalgia, and it's coming out of like a fascist world that makes like horrible garbage. And then we're like, you just made this like,
fucking political.
I know, it's hilarious. Because
Right, but with VHS tapes, so it's
dress up like dogs and do a song and dance number.
yeah, it's like we're doing like Chuck E. Cheese style dance numbers, being just like, come on, you get it, right? You get because I think any other way to do it would just feel forced and strange. I don't think we'd know how to do it without there being like it. Of course, like it is like a security blanket, I guess, in a way. But it's just like, what else are we gonna do? Get up there with a mic and be like, power to the people. It's just we need to figure out the way to make it the medicine go down, I think. But also just to make it like,
humor does that.
and the world is bad enough. We don't want to make it worse. We want to make it. We want to entertain, but also just be like, yeah, that's clearly what we're saying here. But also like, I don't know. There's like a dancing dog farting on a ghost. That's like,
That's great.
I don't know what to tell you. Like you can.
Super political.
But it's literally a clip.
It is like a what is it called? Like, when I see you all like performing, you're like, oh my gosh, the monsters. I don't want to be human here anymore. I want to leave and be where they are from. So it's like it's like submerging yourself into like whole Star Trek episodes or something.
Yeah, truly. It's just it is so well, and so then like that sort of turned it to get into what we're showing tonight, which is like so our spin-off of everything is terrible. If it wasn't complicated enough, was we were about 10-11 years ago given access to a very vast library of home videos from America that are funny. Some
Can't remember the
you
name.
might even say that it's like America's, some of it, their most hilarious home videos. So we were given access to this, and it was really like the keys to the castle, like just the keys to heaven. Like we just didn't think we would ever see the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of clips that get submitted to this certain place every day for the last like 30 years.
To cut.
Some did, some didn't. Most didn't.
Yeah.
Most did because they're horrifying.
Yeah, the stuff that we're interested in didn't. Or we're picking the stuff around the edges from what did get
Sure. Some stuff, some once in a while, we never check. But like, from it became, when you take that, when you take the, old white preacher that's like in a produced video. Okay, well that's produced. That has a soundtrack, that has credits, that has a producer, that has a director. What happens when you just have entertainment made by other Americans who are trying to entertain you, the viewer, thinking like, this is my Charlie Chaplin dance. Like, here's my little like whatever pop culture thing is big at the moment, Beetlejuice, whatever. Like, here's my putting on a costume and thinking this is my version of entertainment. This is like as pure as it can get.
them doing exactly what we're doing.
Doing exactly what we're doing. As in,
Taking themselves seriously.
A lot aren't. Some of our favorite ones are not, for sure. Yeah, they're like so goofy. And they're failing, I guess.
there's people who would submit like stand up, but most of it is like people just in a bathtub dancing or just like in a backyard, just like
putting a bucket on their head or
putting a store-bought mask on, just thinking they're the funniest thing ever. And sometimes they are, sometimes they inadvertently. There's such a wide range of stuff, but it became very, very clear to him and I very early. Oh, this is like Lynch, Cronenberg, true found footage horror. Like, it is truly, when you strip away the soundtrack, the boner sound effects, the hosts, all that stuff.
How does the boner sound effect go?
I don't remember. When you strip all that away, it's just pure terror. And that's been I think the most fun thing that we've ever been able to do is like that version of it, because you don't have to adhere to editing rules.
You don't get in trouble? No. No one's ever been like, what the fuck, that's me.
Well, I mean, no,
There's been a couple of times they've been shocked. People have been our shows not knowing and being like, did you do that on purpose? Did you know I was coming? And you put that in. We're like, yes, that happened at our first screening.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, the first time we ever
One of the
played
first clips in the thing, this guy was like, that was me, dude. And we were like,
And it's like, did you know that? And we're like, how would we know? You were 10. You're like in your 30s.
But did you know the person?
We knew them now, but we didn't know until
Before,
yeah, but we didn't know.
So he's like, you didn't know I was coming? And you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you."
hey, wild.
It's rare, but it does happen.
Yeah, and as far as we might get in some trouble eventually. We'll see. There's potential.
No one's making any money off this, so it's fine.
Oh, wait, but you haven't had any. No.
We've done. It's illegal in the sense that we turned it into it was a late night Adult Swim special starring Paul Rubens. That was crazy. Where
God bless his soul.
God bless his soul. They built a this was also produced by PFFR, full on set that looked exactly like you'd expect. It was insane. Like, it's online now. Giggle Fudge USA, it's called. And that was like our version of trying to sort of like, okay, it's all here.
Part of it? Yeah, he was the host. He was our MC.
He was our Bob
Saget.
He was our Bob Saget, R.I.P.
The fuck?
It was
It was wild. It was wild to meet him. It was wild to work with him. I worked on his movie later. It was crazy. Like, it was all the Big Holidays last movie, the last Pee Wee movie. In a very tiny way, but it was just like amazing to just like get to spend 5 minutes with him. He was so nice.
Yeah.
But
he said our dumb jokes.
He said our dumb jokes. Yeah.
Wow. He really was like such an important human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like essential to
like top
everybody
shelf,
now.
top 10. Just there'd be no. I mean, that was even our live shows are very much, of course, inspired by Big Adventure and Pee Wee Playhouse. Obviously, for sure. Obviously done in a very different way, but of course, like world building. So much of it comes down to world building, and Memory Hole happens to be a little bit more terrifying of a look into the world. And like sort of this movie in particular, Animals Are Over. You want to you do a better job explaining the horrors of it.
I mean, so Animals Are Over is kind of like an exploration of how we're killing everything. Yeah. And we don't realize that we're animals and we're killing ourselves also. So it's really dark.
But it's also like completely true.
It's completely true.
Yeah. And it's raw. There's no production in any of these videos that you're seeing. It's like thousands of clips. It's about an hour of footage altogether. Our full show is maybe, 60, 70 minutes, but it feels like 3 hours because you're really getting bombarded but it's like the way we keep explaining it that's a bit easier to explain than everything is terrible in some ways, is that it's just true found footage horror. It's like there's not really, whenever people, there's so many found footage horror movies, they just always feel fake, whatever they are. Eventually, after 90 minutes, the veil starts to unravel no matter what it is. There's great examples, but it's hard to do, and for the genre being as big as it is, it's still crazy how many they make. It's wild.
It's weird. Like there's that Faces of Death.
Sure.
That came out where they were like saying how they were like, we need to keep doing this. So they were like
A lot of them are
adding
fake.
bullshit in there. And I was like, this sucks.
Yeah. They're remaking it, or did they remake it? There's some, it's coming back, or I don't know whatever happened.
Making it.
I know. What does that mean?
Or like making just.
I think they're taking, I don't really know, but I think they're probably just using the name, the property, and turning it into some other found footage horror thing, which again, sure. But it doesn't hit as hard to me and him as it just does when you're really watching. The example we've been using is just seeing a polar bear in a zoo puking its guts out for like way too long is a horror that just
growing up.
Harder than.
that is part of.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like people keep asking, is there animal abuse? And it's like, well, there's not like cannibal holocaust, like chicken head or turtle heads getting cut off or whatever. Like there's none of that actual violence towards animals in that sense. But it is horrifying, deeply, deeply horrifying, I can confidently say, in a like darker.
Yeah. And it's very violent towards animals in that like everything we do is violent towards animals. So like, I don't know, a zoo is violent towards animals.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
So it's hard to explain. It isn't. It's intense in a different way. Like we've got. Just people come out of that being like, that's the most horrifying thing I've seen. And I watch horror movies all day. This is true, actual horror. And it's like, I think that's the scariest thing is real life.
Yeah.
Is scarier than any
horror podcast, and they're like, pick a horror movie, and I picked what is the one that Joaquin Phoenix narrates? Like you know what I'm talking about? It's called like. I don't know what it's called, or something. He narrates one, and it's because he's obviously like on the level, like he's very much into hemorrhoids.
Yeah,
it is like, it's fucked. The trailer is. I can't even watch the trailer. Like it's.
Yes, I did see a trailer for this. I forget what it is, but it looks horrifying.
There's this fucking part where there's like, I guess it's like a sea lion or something in the back of a trash truck.
Oh yeah,
and it's fucking skinned. There's some bullshit, and its eyes are blinking. It's alive, and I'm like, man, fuck this shit. So I picked that, and the horror podcast guys were like, what the fuck? And I was like, I could pick like, whatever, like Texas Chainsaw.
Those are like actors that went home that night.
And I was like,
like
picking some shit that like is very horrible and like hurts. That should be what like real horror is.
Yeah.
Truly. So we feel very lucky to have access or had access to this stuff, so to compile it. But it also is like we've said many times, it's really hard to eat while you're editing this stuff. It's hard to like, it's even hard to just drink water. Yeah. And this is
I mean, even just from like a aesthetic angle, it's like, you were talking about this recently though, but where it's like, if nobody is dressing the room except for the people who live there, it just looks different. And it's like, if no one's shooting it except for you and your like son, it looks different. And it's horrific. It's terrifying to see what we actually
just
look
like. It's not in an elitist kind of way. It's just like seeing our basements, and these look like our basements growing up, or our living rooms, or our whatever. So it's no, it's no like a
class thing.
It's not like a class thing, but but it is just really ugly. Like all of it is just really raw and beautiful and really, really ugly at the same time. It's this really weird contradiction of like, no art director, 100 art directors couldn't make something that truly scary. Or that like just like perfectly 1986 Midwest, whatever. Like you always see like horror movies or whatever movies trying to mimic the 80s, mimic the 90s. They never get it right. This is as pure as you could possibly get because it's real.
Yeah.
And there's something that you like truly can't look away from. But there's some of those things that are just burned into my mind. It'll just be like a plate of food.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, I can't get that horrific image of that disgusting plate of food out of my mind in a way that like I can't quite explain. You just got to see it.
Yeah. But I mean, this is probably a stupid reference, but like Blair Witch Project, when it came out, like the like sort of folklore around.
Yeah.
What the?
Well, that was brilliant.
Yeah. But I think the fact that they just went like, let's film this thing with a piece of shit camera and like no real production and like make it look like that kind of stuff.
That's one of the best examples, and for a reason. I think that's why that genre hasn't stopped, because I can't think. I mean, there's other versions. They're
style.
There's Dog Bites Man, or what is it? Man Bites Dog. Sorry, Man Bites Dog. There's Cannibal Holocaust one. I've never been able to finish it because it's brutality to animals. I've never been able to watch that kind of. We have weak stomachs. We have very weak stomachs.
Which is funny.
We can't watch too brutal of a horror thing. I mean, I'm getting better, but still, I've got. I hate eye stuff, giallo stuff in the eyes. Can't stand it. But
It's pretty brutal. But there's a study that came out that said it's like harder to watch an animal get hurt than a human. And I'm like, yeah, because you have more empathy for the animal. Like fucking some human. I mean, whatever.
And like when a bad guy in a movie kills an animal, it's like the audience like is set off, like they cannot handle it. So yes, exactly. So this is more, and a lot of it, of course, is in the editing, in the score, in all of that stuff where it's just like, of course, it's heavily manipulated, but also sometimes not. Like there's no like special effects that we added.
No,
it's not nothing
heavily
like that.
manipulated what you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's so much that
stylistically.
Yeah. And I mean, if you just cut to like a 1 second shot of that corner shot on VHS, it's horrifying. People are like, what's in that corner? What's in that corner?
Yeah, it's what we don't show. It's like when the camera starts to turn to whatever and we cut it, then it's like just, we've also said this before, that when we've can look out into the audience, they're just doing this. They're touching, they can't stop touching their face because I think it's just like a coping mechanism to just like
Hide.
Yeah. Maybe check in to see if you're still human. I don't know.
Well, I think maybe I shouldn't have said Blair Witch, because what about like that Mr. Hands?
Wait, what is that again? Yeah. What is this?
Says, okay. Well, there's a movie called Zoo that came out. Do you know that movie? So Mr. Hands was like this place in Washington where these like dudes would go and like get fucked by a horse, and it was like
I don't know.
pretty crazy. And so they filmed it all the time, I guess, for whatever reason. But so this one dude got fucked, and it ruined everything inside of his body, and so they like didn't know what to do, so they like literally just, because it's illegal, so they just like dumped him at the emergency room and bailed. But then like I guess like FBI got involved or whatever, and everyone got busted. It was like a big deal, and they made a documentary called Zoo, which when it came out, like you could rent that movie, the documentary you can rent at like Blockbuster, so it was like a big produced thing, and it's a fucking crazy story. But on the dark web or whatever at the time, this is like when like Two Girls One Cup was out, all that kind of shit. So there's like Mr. Hands, and it's too dark to see, but it's the audio and you're just like, fuck,
Holy
like
shit.
hearing a dude get just fucked so where he dies, like
Holy shit. It's like the Grizzly Man footage or whatever. It's like destroy this, but somehow
But the fact that
worse.
But I think in Grizzly Man you could see it, right? Or maybe you could.
They only show him listening to it, and he's like, "You must destroy this tape. You must delete this footage."
But I mean, that is like funny, like as like musicians or whatever, like you'll never make a sound as horrifying as that. Like
no sound designer could make.
Right.
That's true terror.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I think the fact that in the Mr. Hands video you can't see it, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Like if I saw it, you
bugged.
kind of can prepare yourself, or like, but your mind is just like everything,
No, and your imagination runs wild as it just does. So the panic sets in. I'm sure. God, that's fucked.
Okay, so like tonight though, I saw the pizza outfit. I don't know what the other one is next to it down there. What was
They call it a flesh pizza. It's like a boiling tumor-ish kind of.
Yeah.
They're both just sort of bloody bursting
Yeah, it's just like
intestines.
human animal parts, just kind of reorganized.
Yeah.
But like fun. But fun. Yeah. And then you're like, we're gonna watch this really shitty footage of like brutality, and we're gonna be like Pizza Man or whatever. Like,
I'm curious what people. We've only done a few screenings of this, and there's not.
Very few.
There's there'll be moments where you laugh. I'm sure. Like there's moments that audiences have laughed at. Again, I think out of just like nerves. We're not asking them to do anything, whether they want to or not. It's up to them. I don't care, honestly. If they want to puke, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't think you will, but it's.
do you have that happen?
No, it's not. And again, we're not really like aiming for. If people do, we're sorry, but I don't know. But we've had some. I'm actually surprised at the screenings that we've done. I was a little bit more like, are they gonna? This might be too far. I think everyone's like, no, we get it. It's horrifying, but it's not Mr. Hands. Like it's not quite there.
It's funny though, because, and I don't want to make about me, but I played a show, the Locust played a show where someone died, and it was crazy because we had the show, like someone died during our set, and it wasn't because of like, well, anyhow, so like after the set was over, I was like, hey, just to let you know, like there's been a problem, whatever. And then this woman that we knew comes up, she's like, dude, someone fucking died. That's crazy. So, and I was like, I don't know. I don't understand how how are you says this yet? Like, is this fucked up? And then it turns out that the person, we were his favorite band, and he had a heart problem, and he passed away during our set.
Holy shit.
But we became friends with his dad, and it was interesting to like navigate that because I felt terrible because I thought first, are we responsible? We were performing and people went crazy. I just thought it'd be like a hardcore show where like violence happens, but it was completely like not related to anything. It could have happened at any point.
It could have happened at any
Dad
point.
was like, he was doing what he was at his favorite band show, and his dad had such a really strange way to like look at it. But for me, it was just hard to be that close to death in that set.
For sure.
Yeah.
That must have been it's still probably a lot. Holy shit. But yes, it's not your responsibility, but it is like, it's still something that happened. It's still horrible.
But I trip out on like people's responses because like the one person was like, dude, someone died, and I was like, and then the dad, who I thought would be like, fuck you guys, he wasn't there, but like we later like came in touch with him, and he would just say like he was just wanted to be our friend, and like it was really strange to like hear people's reaction to something that seems like it would have been pretty negative.
Well, I mean, I think that's interesting because, like, I don't think we have, like, a unified concept of death or response as, like, a people. Like, we've lost our touch with death, I think.
Totally.
As a people here. And, like, I think what we make is pretty dark here, and people are going to respond in different ways. So, some people are going to be like, fuck you, why are you showing footage of a now dead panda bear barfing in a zoo? And some people are going to laugh at it, and we're going to be like, that's weird that you laughed. I don't know.
You've noticed that with screen. I mean, you've probably noticed just when you go to see a movie, there'll be like a horrifying like rape scene or something, just something like awful, and there'll just be one guy going, oh, and you're like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like what?
Yeah.
And I think it's nerves. I'm not like trying to excuse it. I'm just trying to understand like why would that dork think laughing during like a horrific scene in like a
irreversible? Is that
irreversible? Yeah, I've still never seen it.
fucked. It's so fucked.
But I'm sure at many screenings, people are just out of nerves, just like trying to make. But it's like it's okay, just process it. Like you don't know how to process death, you don't know how to process this. It's it's horrifying. But it's like wow, we've had seizures at our shows for sure because it's so. I mean, it's so intense, it's so glitchy, it's so whatever. And again, we've just been like, oh my god, please no. We put up signs and stuff like that, of course. But it's like there, of course, it's like a feeling of responsibility, even though it's,
And also, they're your. I don't want to say fans. Like such a weird word, but it's your community. Hopefully, they're like-minded. Like if you were like performing to like ICE agents, you'd be like, yeah, let's make them barf and like have seizures,
Yeah.
But you would not want them to have seizures normally, right?
Except for when our audience is made out of ice.
Yeah, that was true. You ended up at like an ICE convention, at like a police convention.
I mean, I don't know how to like. Yeah.
God, I wish we could get booked at one.
Situations, because I've had people be like, "That was fucked up. You gave me hearing damage," and I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Like, legitimately, like, got and I was like, you came here, and it wasn't our objective to fuck with your hearing. It's and it was very loud. The tones were like not acceptable.
Yeah.
But we weren't like trying to like hurt people. Right. We're like, yeah, I guess he has kind of had to go on with like a heart, with a kindness. Like this art, and it's supposed to be jarring and maybe make you feel ways because
Stealing the whole spectrum is But if we can give that to you, I feel like that's a pretty damn good show. You know what I mean? If you can laugh, cry, puke, whatever. If you can just like feel it, if you leave thinking differently in any way, hopefully just not just being like, well, that was like that again, I want it to be an escape, but we also don't want it to be worse. We don't want you to feel worse, but I don't think that. I think it balances out.
Indifference. You want a reaction, but
Feel something.
I want to feel something. Tonight I want to laugh, cry, barf, and feel inspired.
I hope so.
Like that. I hope so. All of this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
There you have it. Episode 58. We're psyched that Everything is Terrible was part of this series. Also of just like the overall Cult and Culture podcast. Those dudes are awesome.
They were like a last minute addition to the podcast too, right?
I didn't even know because it
Until we
wasn't
were
billed.
there.
It wasn't billed
Yeah.
as Everything is Terrible. So I was like, I don't know what that is, but yeah, the Animals Are Over thing. I was like, what is it? I don't understand. And I still don't understand, which I think is also pretty cool. Yeah, just like from an artist perspective, it is what they do is incredible. So I can't say enough about how much I appreciate them in this world. So also just like what's up to everyone at Oak Cliff Film Festival. This whole thing has been awesome. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of our sponsors and everyone that's on board for this podcast. You guys are great, and we're psyched that everyone's, I don't know, been checking out all the various podcast episodes and resonating with things. So thank you very much, viewer, listener, and comrades, and we will see you on the next episode. Later.
Cult and Culture is a Ruinous Media podcast proudly sponsored by Earthquaker Devices, Heartwork Coffee, Diodario, Kindred, Smashed Plastic Record Pressing, and San Diego Food Shed.
Planet B.